Psalm 139, to the choir master, a psalm of David. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from afar. You search out my path and my lying down and are acquainted with all my ways. Even before a word is on my tongue, behold, O Lord, you know it altogether. You hem me in behind and before, and lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain it. Where shall I go from your spirit? Or where shall I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light about me be night. Even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you. For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God! How vast is the sum of them! If I would count them, they are more than the sand. I awake, and I am still with you. Psalm 139 is an intimate description of how God knows you. When David says in verse 1 that Yahweh has searched him and known him, the word for know here, it's like when a man knows his wife and then a baby is born. So this is an intimate, personal knowledge that God has with each one of us. We are completely laid bare before God. There's nothing about your life that God doesn't already know. He knows the next words you're going to say before they leave your lips. And if that knowledge of God is overwhelming to you, well, where could you go to get away from God knowing you? That's the question in verse 7. If it's like, wow, God knows everything about me. See, this is omniscience, but in a personal theology here, that I am fully known before God. All the way from when I was Bob the Blob, God knows everything about me. And so verse 7 brings up the question, well, could I get away from God? And the answer to that is, no, even if you went high or low, even if you went far or near, even if it was light or dark, it doesn't matter where, because God is already there. This is his omnipresence, but the fact that he's always with you. So if you really linger for a moment on today's Psalm of the day, Psalm 139, you will feel like God completely knows you and he's always with you. And I don't know how aware we are sometimes as we just hurry through our day, but I would encourage you to just sit with this psalm for a moment and realize whatever you have going on in your heart is already clear to the Lord. And wherever you've been, he was there with you. And so you go back now to before you were even born in your mother's womb in verse 13. And this is where God, in his omnipotence, in his power, he makes you, he creates you. The words here, he's forming you, he's knitting you together. This is the opposite of impotence. This is everything you needed for life. God gave it to you. You are fearfully and wondrously made. Like, how did God even make you? But he made you uniquely to be you at a particular place and time. He formed you within your mother's womb. And he had a plan for all the days of your life. It's not like he just made you and we'll see what happens. No, there was already an intentionality of the way that God created you. So everything about you is known. Everywhere you go, he's already there. And actually going all the way back to the beginning, it was his design for you to be who you are today. This is a way to think that's just more intimate than I think some of us might even be comfortable with, or definitely more than a lot of us regularly are familiar with God knowing us this personally. See, one of the things that I think, and I wonder if you think this too, is sometimes I think, well, nobody else is around, so I'm alone. And as I've been studying Psalm 139, I've been trying not to think that way. No, I'm not by myself. I'm fully known. He's fully here. In fact, he's been with me my entire life. Nobody knows me like God does, not even my own mother, because he's the one who's really formed the story of my life. And you get in your mind, if you really spend time with God like that, practicing his presence and really knowing him as he knows you, you get to this beautiful place, and then the world seems like such an interruption, and sin seems like such a distraction. And that's what David starts expressing here. After verse 18, he's trying to figure out all that God knows about him, and he can't even get his mind around it. And then he says, I awake and I'm still with you. And I love that, because it's like he went to sleep and he woke up and God was still there. Or some even say it's like he dies and then he wakes up and God's with him after this life. But it's like this, I know God's going to be there. Whenever I wake up, he's still with me. But then he says, oh, that you would slay the wicked, O God. And this is where the psalm takes a real turn in verse 19. You kind of get 3 sections of 6 verses. You get the omniscience, you get the omnipresence, you get the omnipotence of God to create you. And then you get David saying, you gotta do something about the wicked here, God. Because he sees these people, and notice what David hates about the wicked. He hates how they speak against God. He hates how they take God's name in vain. Instead of treating him as holy and set apart, they bring him down and profane his name. And so the reason that David hates them is they hate his Lord, his Yahweh, who knows everything about him, is always with him, and has made him to be who he is. And so, yes, we're not here to hate our enemies, but to love them. It's a little different for King David, who's fighting people in hand-to-hand combat. He's also the king who's here to bear the sword against the wicked. So David has a little bit of a different perspective on this than you may have. But the thing you need to see, if it bothers you how David is hating the wicked who are against God, you need to see that David holds himself to the same standard he holds the wicked to. He's not judging them and then being a hypocrite himself. No, in verse 23 is perhaps the most famous line from Psalm 139. Search me and know me, O God. See, in verse 1, he already said God searched him and know him. Now he's inviting God to do that. These words here, they're imperatives. It's like David is asking God, hey, if there's any evil in me, if there's any wicked way in me, if there's anything, he uses this word grievous. God, when you know everything about me and you're always with me, and you know the purpose you had when you made me, if there's anything that I'm doing that you know that you're there for, that goes against your purpose, if it grieves you, if it makes you sad by the way I'm thinking or speaking or conducting myself, will you show me what it is and then lead me in your way, the ancient way of the past, the everlasting way of the future. So this is so powerful because David is inviting God to expose whatever is inconsistent in his heart and in his life so that he could practice the presence of God all the way forever. And whatever sin there would be that would separate me from you, or that you would be sad to see when you're knowing my life and with me in my life, whatever sin there would be, show me that so I can turn from that, so that I can go in your everlasting way. I hope you'll be able to sit for a minute as we continue to play the music from the beginning of this. I hope you'll be able to sit for a minute right now and just think that God knows you, that he's with you, and that you could pray this prayer, the prayer that David prayed. God, if there's anything you know about my life right now that makes you sad today, will you please reveal it to me so that I can turn away from whatever that sin is? And will you lead me in your way? I want you to know me. I want you to be with me. I want you to direct me into your perfect will for my life. Show me what's on my heart that I need to turn away from, and lead me your way. Oh God, what a beautiful prayer. I hope you'll take a moment to pray it right now.